appreciated.
So, Draymond, how did you process all that happened this summer? And what kind of changes did you make to gear for this season?
I mean, overall, you know, definitely a lot of things happened this summer. You know, type of person, I just take the good with the bad, you know, and move on. You learn from things that happen, like I said, whether they're good or bad, and move ahead. I think I've definitely grown up a lot, you know, coming into this season. You know, obviously, the obvious is work on my game and try to better the things that I wanted to get better at. But you know, overall, I come into this season as a better man, and I think that's more important than anything.
Monty over here, right side.
Monty Poole, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Draymond, last season you came within an eyelash of being the Defensive Player of the Year, same as the year before. Is that still a goal of yours? And after that, when you look at this team now with adding Kevin, what do you expect, not for the team, but just for the way you guys, your chemistry on the court and off the court?
I mean, our chemistry off the court already has been great. A lot of guys have been back for a few weeks now. Obviously, I spent a lot of time with Katie this summer and Clay. You know, and it's great. Obviously, there are some things that, you know, it'll have to grow, and it only gets better with time. You know, and one thing you can't do is you can't substitute or make up for time. Like, it just got to happen. So, you know, those things will happen as we're together more, and I look forward to them happening. And as far as Defensive Player of the Year, that's always a goal. You know, it's something that I want to do, something I want to do multiple times. But it definitely got to start with one. So we just continue to push.
Draymond, Michael Robertson, African American Athlete Network. How was your experience down in Brazil? Beautiful area, even though it has some of its bad things. And what was that like to experience that and then know someone else is going through some more drama with a controversy? And what about Michigan State getting blown out?
It was a great experience. You know, I think Brazil's a great country. Everybody has their struggles, if you will. And, you know, I really enjoyed the time there. I got a chance to spend a little bit of time just with LB and a little bit of time with Andy. And, you know, those guys were super excited, you know, about the Olympics being in their hometown. And, you know, I think, you know, or their native land. And I think Brazil did a great job with the Olympics. There was a lot of stuff that, you know, was portrayed negatively, but, you know, overall, my experience there was fantastic. My experience with the rest of the guys on the team with me was great. I think we had a very good team. We had great chemistry, and we did what we set out to do, and that was to win a gold medal. You know, I got a chance to experience, you know, other events, which was fantastic, and, you know, the whole entire Olympic experience was great for me.
Left side, front row, Stein.
Draymond, a year ago at this time, you guys knew exactly who you were. What is it like to come to camp with, obviously, KD, but there's a lot of new faces, new voices on the coaching staff. What is that like to kind of have to, you know, start anew with so many different things?
I think, you know, it'll definitely be different. You know, obviously adding KD and adding a lot of guys. You know, this team, with the exception of maybe 5 or 6 guys, look completely different than it has the last 2 years. You know, but I think if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And I'm not so sure how good we would have been coming into this season with the same exact teams, just because eventually stuff starts to get old. You know, it starts to get boring. You know, so I'm looking forward to the challenge of, you know, growing with the guys, you know, that are new here, and, you know, obviously continuing to grow with the guys that are still here. And, you know, it's going to take some time. You know, everybody's going to, oh, you're going to go 80. I've seen it all summer. Are you going to go 82-0? Like, I think that's physically impossible, first off. Or are you going to win 74 games? To be quite frank with you, I don't even want to win 74 games or 75 games. I mean, it's brutal. And, you know, obviously our goal every year is to come out and get the #1 seed and, you know, try to have that throughout the playoffs. And the most important goal is to win a championship. I think there definitely will be bumps in the road. It's not going to be all great like a lot of people think it is, or maybe some people think it isn't. I know it, you know, it's definitely going to take some time for us to adjust, and I'm looking forward to that. You know, I think if we were to start 19-6, the world's coming to an end, and the Warriors didn't start how they started last year, and KD's a problem because they lost more games in the first 25 games than they did last year. So I've already prepared myself for all that mentally because I know it's coming, and I look forward to the challenges ahead of us, and I look forward to trying to win a championship.
Front row left, Ryan.
Draymond, Ryan Leong with Metro Networks and KPIX 5. As you kind of mentioned this already, but how much of a challenge is there is the fact that you guys came this close to a championship and you guys get KD? I mean, how much does that change the dynamic, or does it change anything at all for you in the offseason, processing what happened and, you know, just missing the title by as much as you did?
No, I mean, whether you miss it by a hair or miss it by missing the playoffs, you missed it. So, you know, it's obviously motivation that, you know, to get back, you know, and try to close the deal this time. But that's the goal every year, is to win the championship. So regardless, like I said, we didn't make the playoffs or we lost in Game 7 of the finals, it's still it's still the goal to come in and win a championship. And we're looking forward to that. Obviously, KD was great. You know, he, you know, brings a lot of excitement to this team, and, you know, a lot of experience, you know, a great resume, and one that we look forward to helping him continue building with him. So, you know, I think it'll be a fun year. It's going to be, like I said before, it's going to be some challenges, and, you know, I look forward to those challenges.
Front row left again, Scott Cooper.
Scott Howard Cooper from NBA.com. Is how last season ended already in the past? Do you need some games on the court to sort of work that past, or do you want to hold on to it? Is what happened in the finals possible motivation, something that you guys want to remember that pain going into this season?
I mean, I don't really think that's a pain you ever forget. You know, it's easy to say, oh, we're going to put it behind us, or we're going to hold on to it and use it as motivation. Truth is, that's a pain that you'll never forget for the rest of your life. You know, so now whether you use it as motivation or not, I mean, in this organization, we want to win anyway, so we don't really need any extra motivation because we lost. I mean, I think if we would have won, the goal was the same coming into this year, is to try to win another championship. So, you know, any extra motivation needed or anything like that, I think it's all cliche, to be honest with you.
Draymond, you guys won 140 games the last 2 years. Why were you all so focused on trying to get KD? Why did you feel you needed him, considering how good this team already was?
You know, like I said before, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And, you know, obviously, you know, this team had done some great things and possibly could have done more. But I think our ceiling with KD becomes a lot higher, personally. You know, when you add a player like that, you know, to the mix of something that was already pretty good, I think it's going to make us better. And now I say that knowing that everything isn't going to be great from day one. I don't expect it to be great, and I'd be very shocked if it was. But at the same time, that's why you have a regular season. That's why you have a preseason, you know, to work on those things, to continue to get better and gear up for the playoffs. So, you know, I'm looking forward to that, and, you know, I think you can call it the last regime, I guess, if you want. The last regime of guys who just left here and went their separate ways. I think we had a great run. And I think this is kind of just a little bit of a start of a new thing, you know, but at the same time, the goals remain the same.
Second row left, Rachel.
Draymond, at Media Day all around the NBA, there's been a lot of guys who've been asked about anthem protests, race relations. LeBron just gave a long talk on it. You guys are some of the most visible, empowered young black men in this country as NBA players. Why do you think it is important for you guys to speak out on what you feel about what's going on nationally?
I think it's important to speak out because we're human. You know, I think a lot of times people say, oh, they should talk about this or they shouldn't talk about this. And, I mean, me personally, I can really care less of what somebody think I should or shouldn't do. I am human. I have the right to speak out or do whatever I choose, and as well as other guys. Now, you know, with the platform that we have, you know, I think a lot of people say, oh, they should speak out because people are watching. And, I think that's all personal preference. I think there are a lot of changes that need to be made, and you know, it's not just the killing of black people. I mean, that's obviously rough and crazy to me, but like there's a lot of changes that need to be made in this country, and I think, you know, obviously everybody's been talking about, you know, the kneeling and stuff that Colin started, and I respect Colin for that, you know, because he took a stand that he knew would probably create some controversy, and he didn't care. And I respect that because, you know, sometimes controversy is needed in order to get a point across, and I think he's gotten his point across. Now, my question is, like, what's next with people taking action, you know, and because, like, now that the conversation has started and he's done a great job of that, everybody want to criticize him kneeling down or say he's disrespecting the flag or disrespecting the military. It's not disrespecting none of that. He's trying to show people that there needs to be there's something that needs to be done. And of course, if you turn on TV, everything people want to talk about is Colin Kaepernick's kneeling down and disrespecting America. No, he's not. But nobody want to face the real problem and talk about the real problem. So we're going to talk about what he's doing and try to sweep what he's really talking about under the rug. And I think it's pretty ridiculous, you know, to be quite frank. Am I going to kneel down or put my fists up? No, I'm not. And that's no disrespecting Colin or anybody else who's doing it. But the point is out. Like, the point, they've gotten the point across. I don't think I need to come out and do this national anthem protest because it's already been started. It's already a conversation. But like I said, the question is it going to be something done about it? Like, you can continue to kneel and do all these things, but if nobody's really trying to make the change, I think the number one problem is the people who see a problem with what he's doing. Because that means you're trying to focus on what he's doing and not focus on what he's talking about. And that's the problem that we have as a whole anyway. So, I mean, I think it's a very touchy subject. It's something that definitely needs to be done, and I think people are trying to take the right steps in doing that. I'm actually involved in the group I'm on the board of Rise to Win, which was created about 1.5 years ago, pretty much to face these issues. And it was started by Mr. Stephen Ross, the Dolphins, owner of the Miami Dolphins, and I'm happy to be a part of that. And, you know, we have some things that we're working on, and I look forward to being a part of it all. But, I mean, I'm not going to come out and take a knee and say I'm protesting. Like, I don't need to come out and say I'm protesting because I think it's wrong. And if that's what the protests say, then I don't need to take a knee to say it. I'll just say it. It's messed up, and it's need to be some changes made. And until then, we'll keep going at the same point. You know, why this guy get killed, why that guy got killed. And there's people's lives out here being taken, and yet somebody want to criticize what Colin's doing. But they won't criticize what's going on. So I think it's pretty ridiculous that someone can't come up with a solution or people can't be penalized for their actions. I've been penalized for my actions, and I'm okay with that. Other people not being penalized for their actions is pretty ridiculous to me.
Last two. Stand up far left side, Phil.
Far to your left, Draymond. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. You talked a little about your experiences in Brazil. What about playing with Kevin down there? Did you learn anything about him as a teammate? And did it give you guys any sort of small leg up with you and Clay getting that experience with Kevin?
I think I definitely learned more about him. I've obviously had a relationship with KD, and, you know, the more time you spend around somebody, the more time that grow, and it's continued to grow. As far as having a leg up, you know, playing with him, can't really say it did that, you know, because it's a completely different dynamic, you know, of playing on Team USA or playing with the Warriors. It's completely different roles. Everything changes. So I can't necessarily say it was a leg up, but it was great to spend time together, not only with KD or Clay. It was great to spend time with everybody. You know, our team, like I said before, was super tight. Our team is still super tight. We talk in our group chat all the time still. You know, it's a great group of guys that I think, you know, Dr. Colangelo and Coach K did a great job of putting together, and I was thankful, still thankful, to be a part of that. But as far as having a leg up, for what we have ahead of us, I honestly don't think that really does anything for it.
Last one, left side, third row, Chris.
Chris Haynes, ESPN. Dre, obviously, you know, with KD coming over here, kind of shifts balance. When people talk about the two best teams to contend, it's you guys and it's the Cavs. I know you guys want to respect the schedule that you guys are coming up, respect the opponent, but my question is this a full-blown, would you consider it a full-blown rivalry right now that you guys have with the Cavaliers? Has it reached that point in your eyes?
I mean, I think when you're talking of a 6-game series and us winning, and a 7-game series and them winning, I think eventually it starts to become a rivalry. And the most important thing that makes a rivalry is you have to have talent. And I think both teams have a lot of talent. Some talent that's a little older, some talent that's a little younger, some talent that's right in their prime, you know, and I think that's the true making of a rivalry. And obviously, you have to win. Both sides got to win. Both sides have won. So I think it's something that's definitely growing, but it's also one of them things that if you don't get to the finals, you can't have that rivalry anyway. So we have a lot of work to do, you know, in order to get back to that point. And, you know, I think that's the toughest thing about the next season, especially after winning the finals, is you go from this incredible high to all of a sudden you're back at day one trying to get all the way back there again. And it's tough, you know, but at the same time, I know it's a goal of ours, and I'm almost certain it's a goal of theirs to get back there and try to win the NBA championship. That being said, there's a lot of great teams in this league, and they're not sitting there saying, oh, well, we're going to watch the Warriors and the Cavs in June and enjoy the NBA Finals. They're trying to do the same thing. And so every night, it's a different challenge, and every night, you're trying to build in order to get back there, and it won't be easy. You know, it's like we play in the Western Conference. Got a lot of good teams in the Western Conference. And in order to get back there, a lot of things got to go right. But it starts with tomorrow, starting to build from day one, and we look forward to that process.
Great. Thanks, Draymond. We'll have Clay in here in just